Today I'm getting ready to unbox a 1937 Silvertone radio. That's the big gold dial, the 50th anniversary Sears and Roebuck radio. And it's in this great big ass fucking box right here. Right? One thing I noticed so far is really nicely packaged. Big ass box. And we got packing peanuts. I hate them motherfuckers. The foam insulation. With a bunch of static. Look at that shit. Alright. Looks like we're gonna make a mess. God damn. That motherfucker. I'm gonna need a bag or something to put some of these fucking peanuts in. One thing I fucking noticed is this shit is heavy. It's a lot heavier of a radio than I thought it would be. Good Lord. God damn, what a mess. Look at this shit. Peanuts every fucking where. Wow. That's a lot of shit. Running out this box. Now I'm cleaning up all this shit. Alright, so one point I want to make is I want to go ahead and keep this box. If I got to send this back somewhere to get it worked on, I want to be able to have the box and be able to send it back to the radio shop. Wrapped in bubble wrap. That's all it takes. Not to cut the radio. And this is the back of it. Take the back off. One thing you're not going to see a lot of is these old backs like that. The original back came with it. A lot of times people took these off to keep them from overheating. Set that to the side. And we got the screws. A set of instructions. Some more packing paper. This right here is a Bluetooth add-on. So if you'll see this right here, when the radio is restored, completely restored, this jack was integrated into the circuits inside the chassis. So you can plug this into an iPhone, a tablet, a phone, an iPod, or whatever, and you can play music that way. This right here is an upgrade where you can actually take the Bluetooth device and plug it into this jack and cast music Bluetooth to this radio using the old tubes and all. The coolest part about this radio is going to be the front of it, which I haven't seen yet. All right. Got old cloth wire antenna for your AM. And look at this cord right here. This actually comes up to the magic eye, to the tuning eye. Get down here and look up in there. Got your speaker. This is for the tuning eye. And man, I can tell already it's going to have a big ass dial. It's supposed to have a really big dial. And it's the original cabinet, the original chassis. And it's been realigned, recapped, and then everything. I'm going to go down and just set this off to the side, knock this down, and lift this up out of the fucking bubble wrap. Yeah. Turn it around and get a look at the front of it. The cool looking part. Wow, check this out. Get up on it. Look at that big gold dial right there. With the water, the sun. It says Silvertone. It's got the stars over the top. Big 7-inch dial with the tuning eye. It's American up there, foreign. It's a shortwave. It's got some, all the original buttons. And the original cloth for the speakers. And that's what it looks like. So now, we go ahead and open up the instructions and see what we're supposed to do next. Screws. All right. See what we got to do here. General instructions. Your radio has been packed with protective materials to keep the tubes protected and seated as they travel to you. Please inspect and carefully remove these segments of small bubble wrap packing paper, trying not to disturb the wiring. While you are looking into the back of the radio and before plugging it in, please take a forefinger and firmly press down on each tube to be assured they are firmly seated. This is important as any tube not making a solid contact in the socket will keep the radio from playing. Remember, these relics using vacuum tubes need a minute for the tubes to heat and operate correctly. My suggestion is to turn the radio on with the volume turned all the way down. Give the tubes their minute and then operate the radio as you would expect to do. Running the radio for long periods of time can cause them to overheat, causing damage. Please carefully remove all the packing paper stuffed inside the cavity of the radio to hold the tubes and sockets. Inspect and remove the styrofoam peanuts which may have gotten through the bubble wrap barrier, as these will melt with the heat of the tubes and short out your radio. Before you plug in the radio, press down on the tubes as they can get loosened in transit and may pin firmly connected to your radio and will not play. I have added a generous length of copper wire antenna coiled in the back of the radio. Unwind it and allow it to drape behind the radio. I would gauge the need before adding additional lengths to the reception in your immediate area and construction of your home. Too much antenna can overload the tuner section of your radio, and if a noisy environment, it will amplify the problem. When you first plug in the radio, turn the volume down completely and give the tubes a chance to get to operating temperatures. The earlier sets take a bit longer than the new types. If the tubes have not had a chance to properly get the heat, the radio will not tune. I usually allow a couple of minutes. All of these old radios can have problems with the newest types of electronics due to the RF interference. If you get an unusual amount of static, it could be something in your environment is emitting. These types of new electronics include computers, flat screens, fluorescent lights, and energy-saving light bulbs. Usually this can be remedied by turning off these types of electronics and identifying the source. Either move the radio to a distant location or simply turn off your other device before powering up your radio. I am always here to help coach. I am always here to coach you through the setup and operation of your radio. Most problems are a simple fix. Feel free to share your problems with me. I usually have an idea for a fix. Enjoy your new radio. To use the iPod connector. What?
Nothing.
The radio tuner section will not work while the iPod is connected. So return it to return it to a radio, you will need to disconnect it. Tune the radio to an empty spot on the radio dial. The first setup, then the volume of the radio and iPod or other type of device down all the way. Then bring up the volume of the radio to a medium listening level. Then slowly bring up the volume control on your iPod player until you reach a satisfactory listening level. Once you get a feel for this feature, you can work around to find the best combination between your player and radio. The most important thing is not to overload the circuit to protect it from damage. This should cover things. No, I am always here to ask questions or whatever. Alright, now we'll go ahead on and push down to make sure all the tubes, everything is sitting like it's supposed to be, all pushed down. Sitting all the tubes down, make sure nothing's loose. And everything looks good. Now, we'll go ahead and put the back on this phone bar. Back on it. Get all the screws started. Then we'll take a quick look at the Bluetooth. Alright, so now our Bluetooth's hooked up, and I have to play something from the YouTube library because of the copyright stuff. So we're going to go ahead on and cast it with this phone, a 1940 Slow Dance MP3 out of the YouTube music library. And we got bass and treble. I'm not sure what these do. It doesn't say. Yeah, it does. Although I can't fucking read it without a damn magnifying glass. That's your Amazon Bluetooth device, and it is paired with a phone, and that's what it sounds like, pretty much. So again, it's a 1937 Silvertone radio, and it's called the Big Gold Dial. It was their 50th anniversary edition radio for Sears and Roebuck Company. Silvertone was the Sears and Roebuck. If you look at it, it's got the original speaker cloth, and it's a little bit weak, but not quite weak enough to have been replaced, considering that it's an 81-year-old piece of cloth. So, am I happy with the radio? So far, I like it, and it sounds pretty good. It's got that nice, deep, rich tone and everything that you'd expect from an old vintage radio. And the new radios, people don't fix them. They just throw them in the trash. These radios right here, I'll keep on going. It's 81 years old. And it's going to keep on going and playing. And it'll probably be playing if it's serviced right. And there's actually someone left around and knows how to work on it 181 years from now. You know, they're made to last. Somewhere down the line, we lost that. Everything's disposable now. We get something, we use it, it breaks. It doesn't last very long. We throw it away, and then we go and get another one, and that's what we accept that. But there was a time when everything was made to last. It was made with quality. Now this right here was a pre-war radio. A lot of the companies that were making radios actually had to stop when World War II started and actually go out and start contributing their efforts to the wartime. If you look at this, you see the tuning eye, the magic tuning eye. You see, and it's got the it says Silvertone, and it is a shortwave radio. So I'm going to go ahead on and unplug the Bluetooth, and we're going to see if we can tune in a shortwave station. What the fuck this music is or where it's from, but we have it set on shortwave now, so pulling in stations from other countries. I don't have a clue what this is or where it's coming from. I don't know.
Well, that's pretty cool, though.
Up together.
Brian, programs.
So the shortwave works. And go back around. Got some other ones back over here. All kinds of shortwave stations coming in. pretty sure we picked up something from Cuba. So maybe we don't have the right kind of antenna for that shit. It's a station down here that comes in pretty damn good.
There you go.
I don't know. As you can see, as you're tuning it, you can see the tuning eye moving.
Of God.
Some preaching. What the fuck was that? Honeycomb.
The liberty to include David's most recent reception report dated January 2018. A listener tuned into our radio station on 17650 kHz from 1245 to 1256 on UTC. The simple rating for the signal of our broadcast was 55534. Mr. Crystal uses an AOR AR7030 receiver with an outdoor antenna. Mr. Detective Suboi, who lives in Shinjuku, Tokyo, in Japan, sent in a reception report for the day of February 2nd, 2018. Mr. Tsuboi tuned into our radio station on 7325 kHz from 2351 to 2356 UTC. The simple rating for the signal of our programs was 43343. Our listener uses the Degen DE1103 receiver with an indoor antenna. Well, that has really brought our DX mail back to an end this week. Thank you all for the interest you take in Radio Romania International's programs. Everyone who sent us a reception report will receive a QSL card in the shortest time possible. Tune in again next week. Until then, from me, Eugen Nasta, it's goodbye and all the best 73s. You are listening to Romania International. Next in the program, new names on the cover.
I don't know where that's from. I'd like to know that. Anyway, that's in your shortwave bands, and then we can flip back over to AM, and we're going to get a local station. But I can't play that very long because of the copyright. Anyway, 1937 Silvertone radio. The big gold dial with the tuning eye and the 7-inch dial. And that's what it looks like. So if you like that radio, leave a comment. You got any kind of questions about it, or you tell me something about it, I don't know, some of the history, leave it in the comment section and I'll make sure I get back with you. Subscribe to Get Go TV and look at my other shit, because we've got 260 other videos on how to do stuff. But today, this video is on the 1937 Silvertone radio. It's a big one. It's a big hefty fucker. So leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think of this radio and tell me what you might know about it. And you got any questions, I'll get right back with you. And the most important shit, subscribe to the channel, man. That's important. Have a good one.